Good afternoon. We're going to do the watch list for the week of September 21st. If you're not in the room, we had a great week last week and the week before. Actually, the last 3 weeks have been really good. So you don't want to miss what's going on in the room. If you're not a member, you can get the invite link in the description of the video and in my bio on Twitter and StockTwits. So with that said, we're going to start. I have SPY up first, and the reason I have SPY up is it needs to hold this 330 level right here, and if it breaks 330, I mean, it's got a ways to drop. So I mean, we could see it drop to, I shouldn't say a ways, I'd say 325, then 320, then it's got room down to 314. So if the market doesn't bounce this week, now it's possible that it could bounce on the weekly. You can see right here it's got room down to 320 on the weekly, but anyways, it's all going to depend on what's happening. The closer we get to elections, the more volatile the market's going to get and stuff like that. So with that being said, I'm going to call out like the bullish side and the bearish side. So if the market's strong, go to the bullish list. If the market is weak, go to the bearish list, and just get ready to flip sides if the market changes direction on the drop of a dime, because it will, and it has, and you just got to be prepared for it. It's part of trading. So we'll start with the bullish side. Obviously, one of the first things I'm looking at is Lululemon, LULU. The thing has just been getting hammered since the earnings, and it just keeps going and going. And down here, it went under 300, and I do have a long-term thing on for long-term spread going on for Lululemon, but I'm still going to be watching it for a reversal now. I think the area is to get back up over 300, so I wouldn't really get in at over 297. I wait for at least to get over 300 and break 300. If I can get over 300, it's probably going to go to probably 318. Now Lululemon's like Roku and BA. When it gets momentum behind it, the thing will make a massive run. So it is definitely due for a big pop. Hopefully it'll be this week. I was watching it last week, and it didn't do that. It stayed kind of sideways. So next one is Netflix. Now, Netflix is at an important area on the daily. I mean, it's at support at the 463 area. I think it's going to turn around and fill the gap and probably go up to the 500 area again. But if it does break down, it's got some room down to, let's see, we'll start with 457 to the 440 area, and it can go down more, but I'm looking for it to reverse, so I would watch it over let's see, 474 for a gap fill into the 484 area, and then probably a push into 500. So definitely watch Netflix for a reversal. Now Clorox is going to be on the list again. It's picking back up. The COVID-19 is picking back up here in Ontario, and they're rolling back lockdowns to stage 2. I would imagine that's going to start picking up in the States. I mean, I'm sure it probably has. It just hasn't been newsworthy, so we haven't been hearing anything about COVID-19 in the States. So not sure if they're going to roll back lockdowns in the U.S. or not, but the fact is we're going into the winter flu season. People are going to be more susceptible to get sick. So I would imagine Clorox is going to be another hot commodity to have. I shouldn't say commodity, but item to have for this outbreak. So I would watch Clorox over 210 for a push to even get to fill this gap right here on the 1 hour to 217.50 to 220. If it gets over 220, it's probably going to get to 225. I would think that the demand for bleach and sanitizing chemicals is going to be at demand again. There's still like one of a few companies that has it, so they're definitely going to be very essential to have. EA Sports, I mean, it's gotten it was up in 140 and it's down to the 125s. I mean, I think that's due for a reversal as well. As you can see right here, there's a bullish divergence going on in the MAC histogram. As it's flat, it's rising, and so is the RSI. So I will watch EA over 127 for a push to 130. If I can get over 130, 132-ish, and if I can get over that, I mean, it's got air, clean air, open air, I should say, to 137. So I would definitely watch EA. Sharp, I mean, obviously Christmas season is coming into play, and like Lululemon, everyone's going to be buying yoga pants for their spouses or whatever, so or their friends and family. So shopping season's coming, so that's why we're going to be watching Shopify and Amazon. So I would watch Shop over 915 for push to 950. If it does manage to get over 950, it's probably going to make a push to 1,000. Shopify just likes to make very, very violent moves when it gets some momentum. You look right over here, it went from 1076 to 1146. So I mean, it made a 75-point rip right there in 1 hour. So we could see the same thing happen again on Shop. So Amazon, obviously, same thing. This thing is just a Goliath going into Christmas season, so I would imagine this is going to do very well too. I would watch Amazon over 2970 for a push to 3100, and if it does manage to break 3100, push to 32, maybe even 3300 if there's a lot of momentum behind it. So we'll have to see how the week goes as far as SPY and any news that may affect it at all. So another one is Tesla. Tesla I've been watching quite a bit. Tosses have been having issues, so and it just does not want to load. Might have to pause the video and do this in sections, but yeah, see, Toss is messing up, so I'm gonna have to pause and I'll be right back. Okay, it looks like Toss is kind of like fixed itself kind of a little bit, so we'll just have to see what happens. Now Tesla, I mean, Tesla's thing is just, it's got battery day coming up. It's got some good things going for it right now, so I'd watch it over 450, I would say. Yeah, 450. If it breaks out over 450, I mean, if this thing's going to go to 460, it's probably going to go to 480, so I would be a bit surprised if we see Tesla go back to 500, so I would definitely keep an eye on Tesla this week. By the dips, if it dips. Facebook, I mean, Facebook right here is at gap support. If the market is strong, I would watch for reversal, but if the market is weak, it could fill the gap. So be very cautious about Facebook being at gap support. I would definitely watch it for a reversal over 255 for push to 265 to 270. And if it manages to get over 270, I would watch it to get to 275. Now, just be very cautious that it is at gap support, and if market's weak, it's going to fill that gap before it reverses. So I would definitely keep an eye on that one for either direction. Now, the bearish side, Shack is one of them. That's on my top of my list. As you can see right here on the daily, I mean, it's just up really high. Of course, tosses back to having issues again. I'll give it a second and see if it corrects itself. If it doesn't, I'll have to pause it again. There we go. Now, as you can see right here, when Shack gets over this like 70 area right here, it just rejects. So I'm watching for it to reject under the 66 area for a push down to, let me bring up the daily. If it does break the 66 area, push down to 64, down to 60, and then big supports down in the 57 area, 56 area. So I would watch Shack for a short. Roku, I mean, same thing. I mean, it just, you look at the weekly. I gotta get the weekly up on my other chart so I can see it on the side too. Now it's just chopping right around the 168 area, and it just, I mean, it is going, it's rising with the RCT trend line, but if the market is weak, I think this will make a big drop. So I would watch it underneath the 157 area for a push to 153 and down to the 150 area. Now, if it does manage to break this 150, it's going to drop really fast to the 145. Now, if that doesn't hold, which has held quite a bit in the past, if it doesn't, we can see it push to 140. So definitely watch Roku on the short side. BA, I was so bullish on this and thinking that this thing's going to turn around. I had a couple good days last week, but this stupid thing can't get out of its own way. So I am watching it on the short side, and TOS is just garbage today. Jesus, they need to fix this stupid thing. I would watch BA under 160 for a push down to the 157 area. If it does get down to the 157, right here, the lower this candle's in the 153. If it does manage to break that, we could see 140s again on BA. I mean, this stock can't get out of its own way. I mean, so I'm just gonna flip-flop on it and just be bearish on it until something happens. So QCOM, same thing, get a head and shoulders on the daily. Underneath 110, I would watch for a push to the 106 area, then to the 100 area, which is gap support right here. It's probably going to bounce, so that'd be a good area to probably catch a pop. I mean, or BABA is another one. BA twice. Let's see. Now, BABA, obviously, we got issues with China, and if that starts flaring up, I would watch it underneath the 270 for a push to 267. It does manage to break 267. I'd watch it in the 258 area, 259 area, then 248. So I would definitely be watching BABA for the short side on that. SPY, I mean, I already talked about, I showed that in the beginning, so don't really need to cover that again. Of course, TOS is just not being very cooperative today, and it stopped. I'm gonna have to stop the video again and continue. Okay, let's see if SPY is actually gonna load. Now that TOS is actually working, connecting. This is being really difficult trying to do this watch list because of the TOS having issues. But yeah, I already covered SPY. I mean, we could see if it does manage to break down below the low of 327, that we could see it push down to the 324 to 320, and even if it gets really ugly down to the 312. But we'll have to see what happens with that. Disney is another one. Hopefully TOS will just let me finish the last few tickers I have. This thing is annoying as hell. Come on. It is not doing very well. Gonna have to pause the video again and try to wait for this thing to load. I give it 2 more seconds. It's not going to do it. This is a very difficult watch list to do. This is annoying as hell. Yeah, so Disney, if it gets below the 128, I would watch for a push down to the 122, which is gap support. And if it does test that and the market's weak, it's probably going to fill the gap, which was down to the 118 area. So I would watch Disney for a short. UPS is another one. Hopefully I can get it loaded. I did. This has just been, ever since earnings, it's just been up here, and it's been like consolidating right here. So if it does manage to break this 158, I would watch a short down to the 155. If that breaks, it's got open air to 145 and down to 135. So UPS I've been watching for a couple weeks. It's gonna make its pullback. It's just a matter of when. NVIDIA is another one. It's just, you get a descending triangle right here. I would watch it underneath the 480. It does manage to get under 480. I would watch the levels of 468 down to 455. It's possible it could come down to the 430 areas if the market's really weak. So I would definitely watch that for a short at the markets week. And I noticed someone in the room was talking about SRM. SRM is right here. I mean, it's got an inverted cup and handle, and it's right at the below the middle Keltner and right at the RCT trend line. It looks weak, so I don't think I've ever played this, but under 239, I would watch to fill the gap down to the 220 area. So CRM. That's going to do it for the watch list. This was very difficult to make with Toss having issues, but what else is new? It's either having connection issues or it's laggy or whatever. So no broker is perfect, no matter what anyone says. They all have issues, just some have more than others. So thanks for watching the watch list, and hopefully this will help you find some good plays this week. Thank you.